Hello. I will present you in this video a selection of 12 castles of the Loire in France. This choice is based on the visits I had the chance to make, as well as the fact that 3D modeling exists on Google Earth. Mainly from the Renaissance period, they are remarkable for their stories, their architecture, their gardens, and also for the original or reconstructed scenery they contain. I hope that this video will make you want to visit all these places and discover the banks of the Loire.
The castle of Châteaudun is a magnificent medieval building and one of the finest examples of military architecture in the region. Built in the 12th century, then modified over the centuries, making it a unique blend of architectural styles. Visitors can admire the various towers, imposing ramparts and picturesque gardens that surround the castle. The interior of the castle is impressive. The rooms are richly decorated with frescoes, tapestries and period furniture. You will also enjoy discovering the King's Chamber, the Chapel, the Guardroom, which offer a glimpse of life in medieval times. The magnificent castle of Sully-Sur-LOIRE dates from the 14th century. It was listed as a historical monument in 1928. The castle was built for Guillaume de Balzac, Chancellor of King Charles V. Purchased by the Sully family in 1602, it has been renovated and transformed into a seigneurial residence. The gardens designed by landscape architect Achille Duchesne in 1903 include a French garden, an English garden, a labyrinth of yews, a rose garden, and many other plants. It also houses a museum that houses exhibitions on the history of the castle and the region, including artifacts dating from prehistoric times to the present day. The Castle of Chambord, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is one of the most emblematic castles in the country. An architectural masterpiece, Chambord is a testament to the grandeur and refinement of the French Renaissance. Built in the 16th century to be a luxurious hunting residence for King François I, its unique architecture is a harmonious blend of French and Italian styles, with Gothic and classical influences. Inside, double revolving staircases and sumptuous decorations testify to the splendor of the royal court of the time. The castle also houses a collection of works of art and period furniture, offering a glimpse of the everyday life of the French nobility in the 16th century. The vast hunting park and a nature reserve, home to a multitude of species of local fauna and flora. The royal castle of Blois was the residence of 7 kings and 10 queens of France, including Louis XII, François I, Henry III and Catherine de' Medici. It was built from the 13th century, but was rebuilt and enlarged in the following centuries. These 4 wings of the castle represent a different period of French architectural history. The Louis XII wing is the oldest, followed by the François I wing, the Gaston d'Orléans wing and the Louis XIII wing. The interior of the castle is beautifully decorated, with murals, tapestries and period furniture. You can explore the castle's many lounges, rooms and corridors, as well as the gardens and fountains that surround it. Immerse yourself in history by visiting the royal castle of Amboise, a former residence of the kings of France. Admire its collection of Gothic and Renaissance furniture, enjoy the magnificent view of the Loire Valley from the gardens. It contains the burial place of Leonardo da Vinci. At the end of your visit, walk 600 meters to visit the Château du CLOS LUCÉ.
Built at the beginning of the 16th century, the Castle of Clos-Luce was the last residence of Leonardo da Vinci, where he spent the last 3 years of his life at the invitation of King François I. Today, it has become a museum dedicated to the life and work of this great artist, scientist and inventor. Interactive and multimedia exhibitions will allow you to deepen your knowledge of the life and work of Leonardo da Vinci. You will be able to discover his writings and sketches, which reveal his revolutionary observations and ideas in fields as varied as anatomy and architecture.
The castle of Chenonceau is a magnificent Renaissance castle. It is built on the Cher, a tributary of the Loire, and is often called the Castle of the Ladies because of its fascinating history. The castle was built in the 16th century at the request of Thomas Bohier. It has been enlarged and improved over the years by several owners, including Diane de Poitiers and Catherine de Médicis. The gardens surrounding the castle are also beautiful and have been designed by several landscape architects over the centuries. The castle of Chenonceau is also known for its quality wine production for several centuries. The castle of Villandry is a French Renaissance castle that has been the pride of the region for centuries. Built at the end of the 16th century by Jean Le Breton, it has undergone a magnificent restoration of the building and its gardens. Today the castle is famous for its exceptional architecture and its 6 hectares of terraced gardens. Flower beds, basins, fountains, orchards are divided into several sections with different themes: the water garden, the sun garden, the love garden and the labyrinth garden. The interior of the castle is remarkable, with its luxuriously furnished rooms, monumental fireplaces and richly decorated ceilings. The castle of AZAY-Le-RIDEAU, built in the 16th century, embodies the elegance and grace of the French Renaissance. This magnificent castle was built on an island in the middle of the Indre River, giving it a romantic and picturesque look. Inside, the castle houses an impressive collection of period furniture, tapestries and paintings. Each room has been carefully restored to recreate the luxurious atmosphere of the past. In addition to its remarkable architecture, the castle of AZAY-Le-RIDEAU also boasts beautiful French-style gardens. These symmetrical and orderly gardens are spread over several levels. The royal fortress of Chinon is a famous castle built in the 10th century. It was the scene of many important events in the history of France, notably during the Wars of Religion. In the 15th century, the castle became the residence of the kings of England during the 100 Years' War. Today, the Royal Fortress of Chinon is a major museum that provides an overview of the construction and defense techniques used at the time. The Royal Fortress of Chinon is also distinguished by its terraced gardens carefully designed to make the most of the panoramic view. RIVAU Castle is famous for its beautiful garden, which houses a unique collection of more than 450 varieties of roses. It is also famous for being the fairy tale castle of the region. It dates from the 14th century and was built by the family of AZAY-Le-RIDEAU. It was restored in the 1990s, with particular care to preserve its historical heritage. Today it is a rich cultural site, with contemporary art exhibitions and guided tours that tell the fascinating history of the castle. You can explore the richly decorated rooms, the imposing towers, the splendid gardens. The castle also hosts medieval festivals and workshops of traditional French cuisine. The medieval castle of Angers is also known as the Castle of the Dukes of Anjou. Built in the 9th century, the castle has been enlarged and modified over the centuries to become one of the largest castles in France. It is famous for its imposing fortifications, watchtowers and chapel. One of the main attractions of Angers Castle is the famous Apocalypse tapestry, considered one of the masterpieces of medieval art. This tapestry, which is over 100 meters long, tells the story of the end of the world according to the Book of Revelation. During the 100 Years' War, the castle became a strategic fortress for the defenses of the Kingdom of France against England.